Welcome back to the Dana Grant Show, where I have someone extraordinarily special in the house today, someone dear to me, someone that you're going to want to know if you don't know Jennifer Shaffer. When I'm going to read, which if you've listened to my show, I don't normally do, but you're just going to have to hear this bio, and I'm going to read it. What happens when a Wall Street broker discovers her true calling as a world-renowned intuitive and medium? Sounds like a show, right? Well, she actually has a show coming out, The Deadline, but a new series. We're going to talk about that in a bit too. But she has been a trusted advisor of Fortune 500 CEOs, professionals, athletes, Hollywood celebrities, like uber amount, even FBI investigators. She shares her extraordinary journey of blending discipline and intuition. Her balance is, I'm going to say, coming from one reader to another, spot on. She's also a medical intuitive. She homes in on my body wherever anything's going. And I'm going to tell you, you're going to want to hang on to every word she says, because from solving missing person cases to guiding top leaders through high stakes decisions, that's right, intuition, Jennifer is going to reveal and share today how she bridges science, spirituality, and investigative work to uncover truth, healing, transformation. I mean, her unique powers and gifts, I could go on and on, but man, we got a powerhouse of energy in the house today. Welcome, my friend. Welcome, Jennifer. Thank you for showing up.
Thank you for having me.
You're such a gift. Let's just start there. So what a gift you are to so many people, and your reach is so vast.
Well, it's interesting. I consider myself good at a few things, like a couple of
Mm.
things, but I'm really good at it. Like I'm really good at finding dead bodies, for instance, and I'm really
Yeah.
good at helping law enforcement. What I'm not good
Yeah.
at is a lot. Like if somebody relied on me for food or for cooking, they would starve. Like there's
I
so much
love that.
that I'm
I
really
love
good
I'm really
at.
good at finding dead bodies and helping the FBI and being famous, but do not expect me to show up and cook. And if you need laundry done, it's
It
not me.
does,
It is not my calling.
it is just not going to happen. I mean, I just
I,
laugh. Like when my kids, I'm like, when I pass away, I'm gonna come through with all these smells of foods and cooking. You'll
mm.
know it's me because I didn't do that. And that's been our biggest joke between my kids and I.
Yeah, we know you're not coming through. Although, as we look, I'm looking at the burns on my hands from going in my garden, picking eggplant and creating. Because every time I drop in and I'm struggling with connection or spirit I go into the kitchen and I start creating. And you have a different form of creating, and your intuitive connection is probably. I watch you. You're probably more social, and of course, there's golfing. Would you consider that creativity?
I do. I actually call it anger management for me.
Ooh, I like that.
So I have this group of girls and Jessica Alba formed us this little group and we'll go play golf and they're really good. And I love to play. But there's something about connecting, and being able to hit it as hard as you can. But for
Mm,
some reason, it's like the only time, I'm sure boxing's like that, but I haven't done that in a while. But
mm,
golf, I absolutely love. And you're out in nature. Like you
yeah.
described, going to your garden. I go straight to the beach. I'm very grateful, block away from the beach. I head down to the water. And whenever I have a very complicated case or I
Mm.
need to just double check, I go down there and every time the water hits my feet, I'm just like, thank you. Thank you for helping me. Like it's just something that always works. Water's a conductor. And
Oh,
that's what I do. But yeah, golf is a lot of great anger management for me.
I
Yeah.
love hearing that. I don't know if you remember, but I'm going to take you back to water, ocean.
Okay.
I don't think you knew my dad drowned in the ocean, but you did say the ocean played a great deal of connection and such a conduit and flow and nurture in my life. And then you made the connection. It's amazing how, I love the fact that you said I go right to the beach, but you in that flow and where you went, I think there's so much expansion there for you.
It's it's endless. It's so
Yes.
infinite. And so when you look out at the water, it's infinite, right? And
Yeah.
there's too many places that are like that in my that are
Yeah.
that close by. And I'll go down there and,
Mm,
do a walking meditation, and sometimes I just need to go down there and pray. And
right.
prayer, please don't get all in your head about it, like, whether that's meditation or
Yeah.
helping somebody that's in need, it's just my form of my church, I guess.
Yeah. Connecting.
Yeah.
Yeah, connecting. And I love the fact we were talking earlier that we're all so connected. We're all so, the collective is so, we are so divinely connected. And
I think
anyone that thinks we're soul and separate from anything, I sometimes I'm thinking that must be interesting to live in your head
yeah,
without judgment. Just interesting to see what that would feel like.
I am careful about my thoughts.
Mm.
You get to a place where you're like, I know if I start thinking about somebody, it's going to draw them in. And
Oh yeah.
I know not to do that. But when somebody pops up into my energy field a couple of
Mm.
times, we now play, but now has become a joke with my friends and my family, like who can get a hold of, the person first. I'm like, darn it, they beat me. Or,
Yeah.
always like,
Yeah.
"Hey, what's going on with your life?"
I love that. So
Yeah.
tell me, being, a person that is really good at finding dead bodies, that is an incredible intuitive medium. Do you believe everyone has the ability and power to connect and to be intuitive and see what you see?
I believe that everybody's born with this innate intelligence. I
Mm,
think it's part of what connects us to everyone. I think it's, call it consciousness, call it oneness, we hear it all the time. So I believe we all have the capacity to see things that normal people to have this.
mm,
Um, I think that some people shut it off,
yeah.
when you get older. I think if you have, it takes, you can't be, um, how would I say this? You have to be clear. Like,
Yeah.
you can't have, you have to be done with your own stuff. And
Can't be muddled. No muddled energy. Yeah.
I cannot have judgment when I go into a case, because
Mm,
this is something Lisa Williams has talked about. We've worked together. She took me underneath her wing. I
yeah.
love her.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely adore her. Yeah.
so when you go into a case, if you have judgment to the perpetrator, or if you have judgment even with the victim, you don't get the information. It
Mm.
doesn't come in clear.
So wouldn't you say that goes in life too, Jennifer? When you just said that, it was like a blueprint. When we have judgment and on either side of any situation, relationship, it skews our
Yes.
ability for diplomacy and to reach the truth, which is what your goal is to reach the truth of what really happened.
My goal is to get in and get out.
Yeah. Get in, get out.
Get in and get out. And I don't solve crimes. I help assist with crimes. It takes teams and
Yeah.
teams
I
of
love that you said that. I also love that you said I get in, get out. People think we linger in their lives and we want to see everything and
on
yeah, talk about that.
the most difficult ones. So I recently had a case that came up, somewhere where there was two people that were killed, and they were two young people.
Mm,
And I was feeling depressed for a couple of days, and I didn't know why.
mm,
They died tragically. They were hanging out with me for a little while. Realized at the time that I got the case.
yeah.
And then it like a lot of things made sense. So when it's missing person cases, or deaths that nobody has, law enforcement reached out, they don't have any information. Those people that have passed away are connected to me. And so I will feel it. And they're not, not everybody goes over there and thinks everything's great.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Different energy, because I can feel it when they've died tragically. I can feel it when there's something, you know, really wrong. And so that being said, that part is very hard, very
Yeah.
challenging to get it and get out, because it stays with me until I feel like I've given enough information. And even
Mhm.
then, it keeps coming back. And so not only does it stay with me and I have to check myself
Yeah.
at nighttime, I have to pay
Mm,
attention to my dream state, because they come into my dream state.
right.
And so my my subconscious is such an asshole. Sorry.
No, don't apologize though. I love that you said that.
I'm constantly looking for my purses. I'm constantly looking for my phone. And in between all of that and traveling and not getting to my plane or not packing up in time to get home,
I love that you're sharing this. I love it.
it's almost every night.
Yeah.
That happens, but the underlying threads, I'll get these little bites that pertain to the case, you know?
Mm,
I mean, I recently a family member had their phone came in. It was my son, and he's like, "Mom, I don't know where my phone or my wallet is." And this was the one night he got into Berkeley. We took him up to Berkeley
right.
one night with him, and I'm like, "What do you mean? You were with us all night?" I called the restaurant. They didn't have it. I'm like, "Jack, I'm gonna go to sleep. We'll just have to wake up early in the morning." My dad took me and showed me exactly where it was in my dream. I woke up at 4:30 going, "Oh," and I ran outside. My son had it on the trash can, his wallet and his phone right on his brand new phone right on top of it because my husband asked him to move it and then they decided not to move it. But he
Yeah.
all night and it was still there.
Yeah.
So at 4:30 in the morning, I was so excited. Our dreams, my point is, our dreams are so profound.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't get to sleep. I sleep, but I don't sleep. That
I
makes
know. I know exactly what you're talking about, especially energetically, especially when you said, let me sleep on it and let your subconscious come in and work it out. Because when we press the conscious mind, it sometimes says, I'm not playing. But
too close to it. I
yeah,
mean,
we're too close to it. I
there's
love that.
I've had to I've had to close down a case, at night because I'm like, listen, there's like an energy blitz that happens if you
Yeah.
too much time on it. I'm like, I'm gonna have to go down. And of course, the next morning I woke up and I'm like, I think I got it. And I went down to the water again and it was shown
Yeah.
to me and I was
Mhm.
able to get it.
Yeah. So tell me this, how do you disconnect and shut it down? Here, if everything is energy and you're calling it in and you're working it out and there's multiple energies and I know you do readings and I know how booked you are. How do you disconnect and say, "Okay, okay, I'm shutting it off." How
I
does that
don't.
work for you?
So I made a choice a long time ago to never shut this off.
Yeah.
I just don't go around reading everyone. I never want to have to feel like I have to get into a space,
Mm,
jump. I will never why turn it off when you can use it for yourself? I mean,
yeah.
I'm asking questions from the even, "What am I gonna wear?" What am
Yeah. Give me
constantly
the answers. Show me the way. Show me the way. So you
it
stay connected to the truth
yes,
of, would you say stay connected to just the truth and give me the answers that I need, asking for, so you're always asking, it's always delivering. It's an open line of communication that you're never going to shut down.
I'll never shut it down, but I won't if I don't wanna know the answers, I'm not gonna ask the questions. Like, if I ask, "Should I
Ooh.
go work out?" Prepared to go work out, So there's times where I don't, but it has never failed
Mm,
me when it's come to that. But another point I wanna make is I realized that there's an equalizer out there. Call it God,
mm,
call it force, call it a pendulum.
right.
That got me out of judgment and fear in working in my cases. So I know somebody
Mm,
else is going to take care of whatever has happened in this situation with every
mm.
situation. And that really has helped me disconnect that way.
I love that you shared that, that there's no judgment and pressure, that you stay in this trust of this knowing that what I need to know will come to me. And if it doesn't, eventually will. And I'm only a conduit, a piece of this puzzle. And if I'm meant to know, I'm meant to know. And I think when we judge ourselves and we have to have the answers, we have to, I think that pressure just shuts everything down.
Shuts everything down because if you have an attachment to the outcome, you don't
Yeah.
get either.
Yeah. Love that.
And so I mean, if we were meant to know everything, then my three fantasy football leagues would, I would win everything. How
How
dare
could be? I love that. So I was thinking people, what was that movie with oh gosh, Rainmaker, where you just had all the answers and people think, well, if you know that, I get this a lot. Can you give me the number? Do you have the answer? Is it going to be a boy or girl? And I'm like, no births, no deaths, and no numbers anymore.
Yeah.
Numbers is a gift for me. But I thought, I just feel like I'm cheating the universe a bit. And I think that we have to be in this integrity.
Yeah.
I'm not stepping on, I would say God's toes. It's like, okay,
If I wanted to utilize this gift, I'd be a bookie in freaking Vegas. It's just not going to happen. It's just
yeah,
the thing.
yeah.
I used to love betting on sports
Mhm.
before I knew I had this, and I would win. I won.
Mm.
I would win. Now that I know I have this, it doesn't work. It doesn't work out that way. And I've
Ooh,
even like said, okay, I'm donating, and I'm like, I'm donating. If anything that I
all my
win,
winnings.
I'm donating all my winnings. I just
Mm.
want to see if I can see algorithms the way that I see in cases, the way that I see
Mhm.
that in people. It's an algorithm. Life's an algorithm.
Mm.
But if you
How
know,
can people get into that algorithm of knowing and intuition? Because you're right, it is an algorithm of energy connections. How can they get into a state of knowing and trusting and flowing? Because that's exactly what you're doing. You're trusting, knowing, flowing, and giving the information as it comes and as it's available to you. You're not pushing, you're not demanding,
you
you're
just don't
just holding space.
have space and you don't have judgment. You have to
Mm,
get out of judgment of yourself first because you have to have belief. Belief is the biggest thing that if you don't believe, which is not wrong, if you don't
yeah,
believe that you can, then you can't.
right.
The
But
universe,
not everybody can be you and have this conversation as we're talking prior to taping. Like, hey, your shoulder lower further down. There's a pinch or something. And I'm like, yeah. And it's been bothering me and I'm putting heat on it. And it's like, I mean, you're just always spot on. That is an expanded gift.
it's something I've worked at. I
Yeah.
was with 7 hours worth of clients yesterday.
Yeah.
That's just what I do. I work at it every single day.
It's like a muscle, an intuitive muscle of homing in and knowing and trusting and knowing and trusting. Yeah, you are pretty specific. How did, not to flip flop, but how do you come from being a stockbroker? You're in finance. Like you said, I could have been a bookie. I'm in numbers. I could have gone right for I could have pulled it all in and utilized it there, but you didn't. And it's not easy to do what you do. And it's not always fun, sometimes rewarding, but let's face it, not everybody shows up and assists police, FBI, and Secret Service to find bodies and to assist and to read people. And we know energy, and it isn't always like it isn't always bright and light and sunny.
It's not. And you have to really well, okay. So you have to really get out of your own way. Like I knew way more 10 years ago than I do now. I knew
Mm,
everything 10 years ago. I know nothing. Like the more I know, the less I know, and the more
yeah.
I understand that statement. You also have to
Mm,
have the vulnerability of getting it wrong. And they're never wrong. The
yeah.
universe is never wrong, but your interpretation of it can be.
Yeah.
So, for instance, the show that they're doing about my life in Manhattan Beach.
Yeah, let's talk about that since we just shifted there. Let's expand on that because this is fascinating. And congratulations. I think it's brilliant.
Well, it was funny. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It was very interesting that how it started. So we were in Cancun at Dr. Joe Dispenza's meditation retreat that
Of
just got.
course, it's where high vibrational energetic
I,
connections are happening.
I never meditated before I went. Did
Mm,
like, well, if I'm in the Delta state, why do I need to meditate? Never did. And Jessica was like, I am taking your ass. You are coming. We are going. There was four of us, four girls. And when we were there on the beach, these bats came by me, three bats. And I'm like, knock it off.
mm,
I have a client whose son was murdered. His whole symbol, like in his bedroom, he has this Versace, like all of it was bats, these intricate bats. And so I knew it was him. I'm like, knock it off. And they're like, who's Eddie? I'm like, well, and I started going into my cases. And then they wanted to hear more. My girlfriends wanted to hear it. And Jessica's like, we got to do a show. I'm like, we can't do a show. She goes, what are you talking about? I'm like, they can't follow me around. We only could do adjudicated cases, which I have enough now. But I'm like, you have to follow me around. And I'm not an actor and I'm not going to redo something. That's just not,
mm.
it's just not going to work. And she's like, we're going to do a scripted show then. I'm like, what? What are we going to do? She goes, we're going to do a
Yeah.
scripted show. And that's how it started, was because of that retreat. And then she got her production company going. We pitched it. They loved it. And it's
Oh,
basically,
and the timing is so perfect. I'm almost my hands just feel like they're vibrating. It's so perfect. It's like, and all of a sudden, my Apple Music icon is bouncing up and down on the bottom of the screen. It's like, I mean, that's music. It's vibrating. It's like bouncing. It's just like, yeah, you could feel the success of this. I'm
well,
sorry, but it's true.
so we're going to showcases, and it's going to be inspired by my life. Like I've been married for 24 years this year. They're making me sing.
Congratulations.
They're making me single. Thank you. They're making me single in Manhattan Beach with two children. I'm like, let's go. That's going to be fun.
Yeah, and it's called Deadline, which
No, it's called Wine and Spirits.
oh, Wine and Spirits. That's right.
Headline is but it's still, that actually is a very good title for
And
something.
you know what? It's funny how I drop it at deadline because I think of deadlines in your life and things that are sacrificing and removing right now in order to make space for this, not just this higher version, but this ultimate connection of newfound, I wouldn't say fame because you're already connected to so much
Mhm.
that fame isn't the important
That was
part here.
it
It's not
was
about that. It's about an elevation and connection and expansion.
I That's exactly what it is. I'm like, how can I reach people that I might not have the opportunity to meet?
Yeah.
How can I reach them and make them feel that they're not alone, that they
Mm,
can heal themselves, that
mm,
we are meant to be close to one another. We are meant to have oneness. We're meant to be able to help one another. Like, how can I bring what I do? My goal was to be out of a job, because if I was out of a job, then the whole world would look differently, because
yeah.
everybody would know that this is normal.
Right.
And so that started like, how can I do this? And so
Yeah.
everything started lining up. I mean, I couldn't have planned it this way. It was not.
No. Talk about universal alignment and it's like how it's being directed and playing out and where it's going to be taking you. And you're right, your message to people is what? Instead of she's a psychic questioning, what is your message? What is your hope for people, mankind, all of it?
Learn to love yourself.
Mm,
I know that what isn't something that people think about, but when I started really loving who I was within it, and didn't when I stopped caring about what other people thought of what
mm,
I was, my whole universe like opened up even more so.
mm.
And when I started meditating, when I
Yeah.
started doing the work for myself, my whole universe opened up. The things that I had feelings for 2 years ago are the feelings that I have now.
Mm,
You hear this all the time. Dr. Wayne Dyer was one of my favorite, is my favorite. And you hear, he's like, get those feelings of where you want to be now. We hear
yeah.
that over and over and over again. How do
Yeah.
I want to show up for the world? But it's just not enough to show up. You have to walk it. You have to do it. You have to be it. You have to, like, if you
Yeah.
can do something that you're passionate about every single day, eventually it might take over your day job.
Yeah.
Everyone
The
has.
embodiment of that. You embodied this for 2 years, holding the space, holding the space, holding the vision, holding the space, feeling it, living it, breathing it, and all of a sudden it just morphs into everything. It just expands because you already saw that version of you. You already held that space, and she's already here. You're like, hello, hello. Yeah, I love that. I love that because I think a lot of people that are listening are wondering what can they do to connect? And I love that you said, hold that vision, meditate, shift some things up. How would they get out of their own way?
Let me say one other thing first. Like, when the news broke last week about that, about Deadline, broke the news on it. The first thing I wanted to do was call my parents, and they're no longer here.
Mm,
And so I
mm,
went down to the water, and I literally felt them on both sides of me. And
Mm,
I still get choked up. And I'm just like, you're the first people that I wanted to tell.
yeah,
And they're just not here. They're like, but I could feel, I got feelings and the emotions of just how proud they were, and it was just one of
yeah,
those things that even though it was so great on the outside, it still was like very bittersweet when it
yeah.
did happen. So when you're, so to your other question, I just wanted to share that because I think a lot of people
No, yeah, I love that you shared that.
deal with that. I never knew what grief was. I knew people came to me to talk to their mom. I'm like, really? Had no idea what grief was.
Mm,
Just, I wanted to quit this work when my dad passed.
yeah.
And then I'm like, I'm in the one industry that if I didn't do this work, then how am I going to talk to him? Right?
It's amazing how you stayed unattached to the grief and so you could keep the messages clear. But I think that you feeling the grief, you're able to have more compassion and hold more space and call more in, more knowing.
I
And I
think
think that's the ultimate healing because I look at you as a healer, as a not only a seer, but a healer. You're bringing messages in of never for destruction, but for hope, expansion, connection,
great thing.
love.
There's too many great things that they want to say. We
Yeah.
get so caught in our heads, and they're actually really funny. That's why I do these events, Wine and Spirits. That's what they loved. I'll read
Yeah.
one night, and
Yeah.
they get to talk to whoever they want to talk to, or they get to ask a
I love
question.
that.
You
I
know,
love that. I love that. Okay, let me ask a question. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I'll validate something. I think
okay.
I sent you a message. We had talked and you're like, "Oh my gosh, you had a dog bounce in, two dogs." And I'm like, "Nope, Jennifer, nope, just one dog because I'm so attached to my poodle Leon and I have a little stuffed animal looking right at me." And I'm like, "Nope, Leon." And then it was like I don't know, maybe 2 days later, I'm like, oh my gosh, there was Nana, my golden retriever for 14 years that I lost a few years earlier. There were two, and I'm like, oh, my poor Nana, how could I forget you? But Leon was my fella, he was my, and Nana, and I'm like, there were two, and you're always so accurate. As I look, he's up there to stuffed animal. A lot of friends bought some, and there's another one looking at me, and I'm like, I didn't realize I had so many Leons looking at me. That's crazy. And I'm looking up and I'm looking around thinking, I'm gonna have to show you. But that validation and peace, it brought enormous. I think what you do is you bring an enormous, this is one of them that I slept with for a year. It's that was my little Leon. He was a little poodle. I know, but it was just looking at me and I just had to share it. I think that that information brings so much comfort. What do you, I mean, at the end of the day, do you know the amount of connection and comfort, even when you're in the, I know the wines and spirits, the readings, all that you do, and people love it. People love connecting like that. It's such a great environment for you to show up and have some fun and
Yeah.
connect. I
Yeah.
mean, at the end of the day, do you realize the comfort? I mean, when you said that, I had remembered, and the confirmation. Do you like it when people reach out? Of course, I kept
I love
Jennifer, Jennifer, is you're right, you're right. I was wrong, you were right. Yeah,
So oh, 90% of the time I don't get the feedback because they come at,
yeah,
we're
yeah,
doing more now, but a lot of times I think one of the biggest things as a medium or as an intuitive, when you get something, you just say it. And even if it's uncomfortable in a way, like you don't change
yeah,
the answers to help
yeah,
somebody feel better about them because it meant more
yeah,
that I said two, and then you
yeah.
realize it later than if I would have said, oh, you just have one.
Yeah. Then I would say, "Oh, wait a minute, there was two. Oh, where's Nana? I guess she's not around." Yeah, it was, yeah.
And that's the part where I have learned to get out of my own way. That I disregard somebody saying
Mm,
doesn't affect me anymore like it used to. And I don't,
mm,
and if somebody doesn't, I don't read people that don't want to get read either.
mm.
There's no point. I'm not trying to prove anything. I'm just trying to give,
Yeah.
like my
So you're
dad.
not attached to psychic, mediumship, seer, visionary, intuitive. There's so many names. Is there anything that drives you crazy that they call you?
Uh, Biatch. But I think I call myself an intuitive because I said this in the at the beginning of my career. I'm like, I don't want to be left out because a lot of time, I mean, I do
Yeah.
readings, I do investigations,
Yeah.
everything you could possibly. I am not woo-woo.
No, you are
That's such a
not.
stupid word. People just
Yeah.
use
Amen.
that word.
I never want to hear that word again.
There's
And
such
let's face it, there's a lot of people out there. And if we wanted to look at the energetic field out there, not that everyone doesn't have intuitive, but you see intuitive reading life coach, and you're like, are you an intuitive like me? Are you a seer? Are you a knower? Or are you a connector? Because I think the word is used really loosely now.
it is. It is.
And yeah, I'm glad you think that too. And it doesn't mean that everyone doesn't have intuition, and we don't want to teach people to have more intuition and trust that. But I always wonder, do you see what I see?
Yeah, I think that I feel that everybody has a chance to do it for themselves, but not everybody's cut out for this.
Yeah,
They're just not. I
yeah,
mean, who wants to show up? I literally show up in my day. I only have names. That's it. And then I have to know every single thing about them without knowing a thing,
all
right?
day long. Yep.
Day long.
And they expect a lot out of that. They're like, okay, tick tock, I need to know. And you know it, they show up with expectations.
Well, they
If she
didn't.
knows what she's doing, I'm going to see this sign. They're going to show up because this is a conversation I had when they were living, that this sign would be the way they would show up, and you don't give them that sign. They're like,
Well,
I just don't think, yeah.
yeah,
They're
I've also had to say to somebody, I'm like, in my group readings, I'm like, listen, you might want to talk to your dad, but if you're in your
yeah.
60s or 70s and your dad died when you're 12, his interpretation of things is going to be much different than yours. And I'm not going to be able to
Mm.
validate or give you what you need. It,
Ah,
your dad's not here, but I don't want you going away thinking, because it is challenging. I could say
yeah,
something, but you're not going to remember. You don't remember the same sequence of events that they remember.
yeah.
It's just
What a
different.
great perspective, because I think that the perspective is they're growing with you, but they're holding space at that time, and it may not be what you need now.
I could tell them about what they are viewing now in your life, but
Yeah,
I had someone say, "Well, you're just reading my mind then." And I'm like, if that's so easy to do, like
yeah, yeah. I love that. I love that. What do you want people to be left with in listening today? What do people need to know from someone like you in the world? What is a message you can leave them with? Is that too broad?
no, I had two things come up. One is just because it helps so much to be intuitive for yourself. It just does. Your body tells you what's going on with it. You need to trust it. Be very careful about your words. If
Mm,
say that you're not intuitive, the universe lets you think that way. It
yeah.
just doesn't care.
How can they build that muscle and you're so right. It's the third time you've said, be careful with your words. Be careful with your words.
I'm saying words, but thoughts.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you think you're an intuitive, how can they strengthen and how can they reinforce their connection with the divine universe, God, whatever it is they want to know? They want to know more, they want to trust more. How can they strengthen that muscle?
So some people will take musicians, for instance. Some of the greatest messages and songs have come through as they're playing. So
Mm,
for each person might be different. If you're an artist, try to do spirit art. Just see what comes in and paint. If you're a writer, ask to feel something that might be,
mm.
ask questions, make them easy. Don't ask like, am I going to stay married or am I going to, like, don't do that.
No high stakes situations.
Right.
I
And
love that. So being curious and creative again.
be curious and creative. Like find your medium and work with it.
Mm, I love that. In a high stake world that you live in, and I mean, in life and death situations of what you deal with, I love that you just left that on a note of be curious, strengthen that muscle by being creative, drop in and allow it to flow and connect to nature, ocean, resources, and get out of your own way. Get out of your own way.
We are not that significant.
God, that's the second time I've heard that this week. Who else said that? Oh, it was Terry Cole on she goes, "We are not that important, Dana." And I'm like, no, we're really not.
We're not, but we can make the most out of this life because it's the one
Yeah.
that counts. You don't have to believe in past lives. I can't prove them, but we literally are handing the baton to ourselves, saying,
Yeah.
"Go, make us proud."
Mm.
Once you want to make, like, once you want to leave your legacy, all it takes is helping one person, and that could be just by smiling at them when they were thinking about dying.
Ooh, powerful.
Just one person. And then the 5 people you meet in heaven by, Maury, Tuesdays with Maury. I think, yeah, The 5 People You Meet in Heaven and Tuesdays with Maury by
Yeah.
Mitch Albom, I think is
Yeah.
one of the
I
great.
know the book. Yeah.
Just be kind to yourself. Be kind first to yourself and get
Yeah.
rid of all of the energy zappers. Stop
Mm.
trying to please people because you will never be able to do so.
But I'd say everyone needs more Jennifer in their life. But how can they find you? How can they connect? I know they're going to see you on the TV show soon, but I know that you book out and I know how can they connect with you and where do you hang out?
Where do I hang out? I hang out all over the place. In LA, I just spoke with somebody about doing a retreat in Paris, which I'm very
Ooh,
excited about. Yeah.
ooh,
I just want to make fun places to go to, like
yeah,
work at these fun places because I have lots of clients over there.
yeah,
But you can find me at jennifershaffer.com, JenniferShaffer.com, or just my Instagram, Jennifer M. Schaefer.
yeah. And we'll have all the links and all the things. And I know Jennifer has opened up to some readings, and you might want to get on her books. She's brilliant. She's on point. I wouldn't say that if it wasn't true. She's one of my favorite humans and energies. And I'm just going to say, I love you. I adore you. I'm so glad you're in my world and that I get to connect with you. And this whole time, you've got fire engines going around the streets around us. And that's a private information between you and me because of what we talked about. But it's so brilliant that it just keeps showing up and circulating and creating this larger
I love
quantum
what
field.
you're doing. I love what you're doing. I can't wait to see you at in a not only in a
Yeah.
huge platform, but just in a arena. That's what I saw before. I can look
Mm.
forward to that day.
Oh yeah. I am holding the vision because everything you've ever said to me randomly in passing all has come to fruition. All of it. And in this like, wow, Jennifer said that just in passing. And yeah, it's so yeah, there's nothing random. And your accuracy, I just I'm always impressed with. And I love it. I love it. All right. Jennifer Schaefer, you are amazing, a gift. They could also go out and do your wine and spirits in LA.
In
There's,
Manhattan Beach, I do them twice a month for people that can't come to my office.
yeah, Huntington Beach. You can go hang
Or
out and have a,
Manhattan
oh,
Beach.
Manhattan Beach, not Huntington Beach. Yeah, Manhattan Beach.
Go
Yeah.
to my website,
Yeah,
but
go to her website, see where she hangs out. What a gift to be in a room. I think I'm flying down. I'm going to be doing that. And I'm going to surprise you. You're going to be like, oh, no, you're not. Oh,
I'll
yes, I
lose.
am.
Don't you dare.
Oh, what a gift that would be. All right, Jennifer Schaefer, the house, guys. I'm going to give you all the links. Connect with her, follow her on Instagram. Oh, and you do your Monday tips where you drop in and you give the spiritual connection,
Like a minute-ish. It's kind of like a,
medium minutes on Mondays. I love that. I love that. Forgot about that.
yeah, it's something that I do because it just helps me remember what happens throughout the day and there's always an algorithm. And so,
Helps me remember what day it is. You're the best. All right, everyone, thank you for showing up. Make
so
sure to give Jennifer a follow. And until next time, be kind to each other.